Gaby Plana. I am a planning producer at CNN Español, and it is an honor for me to share this evening with you as your mistress of ceremony. To start off, I want to give a special recognition tonight to the Georgia Hispanic Construction Association for celebrating their second Community Builder Appreciation Dinner. This event is held to recognize advocates in the construction community and non-profit companies, as well as government entities who enrich and support the Hispanic construction community. Please let's give a round of applause to this wonderful association. To begin with this special occasion, I want to introduce and also call to the podium Mr. Wayne Reese with Reese & Associates. Mr. Wayne is an incredible person who has the ability to make connections and bring private entities and government together. He has conducted issue briefings as well as roundtable discussions throughout the country. Reese & Associates is a boutique legal practice in Atlanta, offering personalized corporate legal service, including regulatory affairs, personalized corporate legal services, international business strategies, and strategic positioning for clients throughout the United States and abroad. Please help me welcome Mr. Wayne Reese.
Now, the first group of people that I would like to introduce to you, I would like to introduce as a group. So I would like for everyone in the room who has ever done business with a Hispanic company, a Hispanic individual, or who has a Hispanic constituency. What I'd like for everyone to do is just kind of bear with me here for a couple of moments, because we have a number of people up there that I would like to introduce to you individually. We have two members of the United States Congress who are with us, one from our own state and one from the state of West Virginia. From the state of West Virginia, and you'll have both of these people introduced to you more later, but Congressman Nick Ray Hall from West Virginia and Congressman Jack Kingston from Georgia. Would you both stand? We also are privileged to have with us the state of Georgia's top transportation official. Senator Steve Gooch is on his way in. We have Senator Kirk Thompson here tonight. If you'll stand, Senator, and just stay standing. Senator Chuck Costello. Senator Valencia C. If you'll give them a big round of applause. And we have even more state representatives joining us tonight. First, we have the distinguished chairman of the Democratic Caucus in the House, Representative Virgil Flood. Just remain standing. We have Representative Pat Gardner. We have Representative Abel Mabel Thomas. Representative Mark Hamilton. Representative Sheila Jones. Representative Jimmy Pruitt. Representative Paulette Rakestraw Braddock. Paulette. Representative Nikki Randall. Representative Lynn Riley. Representative Keisha Waits. And we have the first Hispanic elected to the Georgia General Assembly, and a big friend of this organization, Representative Pedro Marin. Pedro? We have several other officials, and I'll introduce these people also as a group, but from the Southern Region Airports Division of the Federal Aviation Administration, Manager Winston Leffert. Winston, right here. We have also Manager Larry Clark. We have Carol Phelps, the DBE Support Services Manager of the Georgia Department of Transportation and the Director of
Thank you, Wayne, for all those nice words. On behalf of my fellow board members, I would like to welcome you to tonight's Community Builder Appreciation Day. We look forward to sharing the rest of this evening with you, but more than that, we appreciate the relationships that brought you here tonight and look forward to a very productive future together. The mission of the Georgia Hispanic Construction Association, GHCA, is to develop and promote the Hispanic construction industry in Georgia. We recognize that cultivating the right relationships is key to our ability to succeed. We are also here tonight to recognize those whose achievements are an inspiration to the Hispanic construction community and to our industry as a whole, as well as those whose inclusive business practices and acceptance of minority contractors helps make our success possible. Our goal is to help forge the relationships that will allow our members to achieve their goal, to perform real work and create real value for their partners and their customers. Hispanic contractors are interested in doing the work and getting the job done. We are not asking for handouts or easy money. We are asking for opportunities. We are committed to not only to our own success, but to the success of our partners and our customers. We understand that whether you are a small business owner, a majority contractor, a government official, or a regular tax-paying citizen, we all depend on each other for our success. It is essential that we communicate with each other to better understand what all of our needs are. As members of the construction industry, we want to know not only what we are doing right, but what more we can do and how we can help you. Please take a look at tonight's booklet. It includes information about tonight's speakers, about our guests and employees, and about our industry. The cover symbolizes the window of opportunity through which we, as Hispanic contractors, can prove our dedication and the quality of our work. We have the skills, the passion, and the commitment to succeed. The only thing we need is the opportunity. Thank you all for coming tonight, and a special thank you to all of our sponsors for making tonight's dinner possible. We are grateful for your support. And now, I ask you to join me in watching this short video that will give you a better perspective of our association and the work we do. Thank you.
Please let's give our round of applause to all of them that they talked about. All right, so now we're going to watch the video that Gamar mentioned before.
In Georgia, created in 2011 by a group of Hispanic leaders concerned by the lack of opportunities for Hispanic companies, GHCA began operations determined to change the status quo. Members of GHCA include both Hispanic and non-Hispanic companies. It is comprised of general contractors, subcontractors, suppliers, and industry professionals from throughout the construction industry. GHCA provides membership services in the areas of education and counseling, business development, and government relations and advocacy. In education, GHCA offered a large variety of educational programs, as well as generated many networking opportunities between general contractors, project managers, subcontractors, partners, vendors, and other stakeholders. More importantly, GHCA has assisted over 475 individuals in Georgia in 2013. The Construction Safety Fair was a success. Designed to generate awareness about safety and training opportunities, over 300 people attended. In business development, GHCA is committed to helping its members find new business opportunities by connecting large and small businesses, as well as encouraging its members to pursue teaming opportunities. The Georgia Hispanic Construction Association had 3 companies who graduated from the JEW Construction Minority Contractor Business Development Program in 2012, and in 2013.
Thank you so much for all your work. I know for a fact that you guys work hard, and just in person, thanks to you guys, my father-in-law who has a contracting company, he's been able to grow his business and learn and just do what he does. So thank you very much for all the hard work. Now I'd like to remind everybody to introduce yourselves. The Georgia Department of Transportation Commissioner Keith Golden. Mr. Let me talk a little bit about Mr. Keith Golden, who has served as a commissioner for the Georgia Department of Transportation since September 2011, and is a 26-year veteran of the Georgia DOT. Golden is also a licensed professional engineer and has created training programs for the GHCA members regarding DBE training. This has allowed Hispanic companies to compete fairly, grow, and ultimately prosper. His support for the cause has been tremendous. So please let me welcome to the stage Commissioner Keith Golden.
There's not a lot of work to do. Gilmore asked me to do it, but when she talks about coming to Georgia Tech, I'm a little worried that they're going to take my degrees back, so I'm very careful about that. But we have nobody on the House Transportation or Senate Transportation committees, so every chance we get, we try to come and meet with those people that represent us in Congress. So tonight I have the opportunity to recognize one of those and introduce one of those to you. Congressman Nick Rahall is the ranking member of the U.S. House Senate on the Transportation and Infrastructure Congressional Committee. Congressman Rahall has worked diligently on every federal highway bill since being elected as the youngest member of the U.S. House of Representatives in 1976. He is one of the foremost experts in transportation policy in the nation. Recognizing that our infrastructure is the bedrock of our economy, Congressman Rahall has renewed calls for Congress to tackle the well-documented backlog of highway, bridge, water, transit, and other transportation needs. Reliable and robust funding of these areas is critical to meeting the economic development challenges facing our nation, including addressing the increasing annual cost of congestion, which is estimated to rise to $133 billion by 2015, and 2.5 billion gallons of wasted fuel each year. As one of the country's key proponents for strong infrastructure, Congressman Rahall knows the investment will save taxpayers money, stimulate the economic growth, and provide jobs. His position has enabled him to channel his investments into our nation's ports, navigable waterways, rail and highway intermodal facilities, as well as the transportation-related research to bolster the long-term economic growth and create jobs. The committee has broad jurisdiction over the nation's highways, railways, airports, seaports, bus lines, and pipelines, as well as the Economic Development Administration.
the Appalachian Regional Commission, the Coast Guard, the Army Corps of Engineers, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and other crucial economic development programs. Let's recognize Congressman Ray Holt to come speak this night.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Keith Golden. I appreciate the kind introduction. I want to thank Wayne Reese for the tremendous job that he has done in putting together the Hispanic Construction Association's Community Building Appreciation Dinner, all of the sponsors. I want to thank Guillermo Obregon, your board chairman, for her superb hospitality and the tremendous work that she does. And most importantly, thank each of you. Thank each of you for what you do for jobs in the state of Georgia, for what you do for jobs in our country, in the manner in which you provide employment and take care of your employees. You know what this economy is like. You know what it takes to grow this economy. And you're there on the front lines each and every day as the economic movers and shakers in our country's economy, and we thank you for that. I'm going to cut my remarks short because I've got to get back to that dessert. It looks so good. So I want to leave my good friend Jack Kingston time to speak. There he is. And Jack and I are very good friends, very dear friends, even though we are across party aisles. But it's most important this evening to share and to be able to share with you your passion that I have heard already this afternoon in a roundtable discussion we had, your passion for transportation, for construction, for infrastructure issues. And to those of the state legislature and city councilwomen that are here, I thank you as well for your dedication to public service. But for those of you that are in the construction business, and what I have witnessed here this evening and this afternoon is a true teamwork, a true cooperation, coming together, if you will, regardless of political stripes. But you've come together in order to improve not only the lives of your employees, but the lives of the people of Georgia. And as Commissioner Golden mentioned in his kind introduction, I have had the opportunity to be in Washington for a number of decades now. Jimmy Carter was actually my first president. I was elected the same year he was, so that gives you a little idea. And so I've been involved with every federal transportation bill that has passed the Congress for the last 36 years. And I'm sure each of you know that in that time frame, we've gone from feast to famine. That's exactly where our infrastructure spending is today. And I say that because while the need for transportation investment is still great, in the era post the completion of the interstate highway system, we've witnessed really a loss of focus on our infrastructure, and just as importantly, if not more so, dwindling resources. Yet we continue to witness startling reminders of the vulnerabilities that plague America's infrastructure due to this underinvestment. For example, earlier this year, we awoke to a nightmarish scene in Washington State where large sections of the Interstate 5 bridge just crumbled and it broke into the Skagit River. Cars traveling the bridge at the time tumbled 30 feet into the icy water below. Mercifully and somewhat miraculously, no lives were lost. But some will look at these images of twisted meadow and broken pylons broadcast around the country and see a bridge that needs to be repaired. Those who understand, as each of you in this room do, how interconnected our transportation network is, you will see a vital artery of commerce that was severed. That particular section of Interstate 5 is a primary gateway between Canada and the U.S. West Coast. 70,000 vehicles cross that bridge every day. And that bridge, like so many others across our country, doesn't just support a roadway, it supports international trade and jobs. But that bridge, built during the Eisenhower administration, was functionally obsolete and was at the end of its lifespan. It is one of more than 66,000 such bridges that are found in every state in this nation and traveled over by millions of cars and trucks every day. So when gaps in our transportation network are revealed in such dramatic ways, we hear calls for action, and we recite the all too familiar statistics about just how bad the state of our infrastructure has gotten. But when the news cameras are turned off, when the media has left, and the expedited repairs are complete, what then? What then? These types of events should serve as a wake-up call for those who take our transportation network for granted. We simply cannot afford to keep hitting the snooze button when it comes to infrastructure investment and think that it can wait for another day. Presently, at the federal level, we're operating under MAP 21, as each of you, I'm sure, know, signed into law in July of 2012. It is the first relatively long-term highway authorization since 2005. We had some nine short-term extensions, and it's only a 2-year bill. Yet what MAP 21 represents is essentially that 2-year bill that provides relatively flat funding for our surface transportation programs, and it was a tall order even to get that done. With MAP 21, Congress gave the state departments of transportation, Commissioner Golden, some assurances to move forward with projects. But the new law simply does not allow us to make the investments that are necessary to maintain what we have, let alone rebuild our infrastructure and put in place a transportation network that we need to compete in a global economy. And we have only to look around at all of our foreign competitors. We lag, they're literally leaving us in the dust. We lag so far behind in what we're spending as a percentage of our GDP on our infrastructure versus what our foreign competitors are doing. It's just dismal. So what's the fundamental problem? Well, as I mentioned earlier, one is a lack of focus. With the completion of the interstate system, the big picture became lost on the American people. Sure, people are still interested in local projects, say, for example, the building of new highway lanes along I-75 and I-575 in the Atlanta area, which received a $250 million TIFIA loan last week. But we are falling short in our messaging that this is a national system with an international implication. And it's just like what happened with the NASA program, post-moon landings and shuttle. How many of you in this room heard that just last Monday, for example, NASA launched a rocket to Mars, equipped with a robotic explorer? I think you see what I'm getting at. We've kind of lost our focus. In other words, the vision and the effort that built our interstates, or for that matter, to put a man on the moon, is just as important today as it was then. The need is still overwhelming, not just for repair, but for expansion. And then, of course, there's the other problem. It's called financing. With enhanced fuel mileage standards, the advent of electric cars, natural gas-powered fleets, and the fact that people just don't drive as much, the Highway Trust Fund is once again in trouble. One of MAP 21's shortcomings is that it failed to address the long-term problems facing the Highway Trust Fund. The funding gap in MAP 21 was paid for out of general revenues and various other gimmicks that we could come up with at the time. In fact, between fiscal years 08 and 014, $54 billion was diverted from the general fund to the Highway Trust Fund. This begins to walk away from the user-paid principle that built the highway system, and that means that in just over a year from now, the Highway Trust Fund, yep, you guessed it, it's going to be bankrupt again. Simply put, the current 18.4 cents federal gas tax established in 1993 just no longer cuts it. As we gear up for the next surface transportation bill, financing must be front and center. There are a wide variety of options. You know, there's the gas tax. We can index it to inflation. It hasn't been touched since 1993. There's VMT, vehicles, miles traveled, not too popular in rural areas of our state. That alone won't get it done. The increase in the gas tax, that alone won't get the job done. We could look at innovating financing, which requires a revenue stream such as tolling. Again, not too popular in rural areas that I represent. That alone won't get the job done. And I can keep on going down the list. There's a myriad of options that we can look at. Public-private partnerships, bonding, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But just know that all options in my book should be on the table. Now, I said that 2 years ago. And the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, didn't like it. He sent out a press release and said, there he goes again, tax and spend liberal Ray Hall wanting to raise your gas tax. All because I said all options ought to be on the table. Well, this year, my good friend and the gentleman with whom I give a great deal of credit for progress we're making on the Transportation Committee, Bill Schuster, the Republican chairman, is saying the same thing. And the Speaker's not opening his mouth. That's progress in Washington, my friends. That's progress. So I do commend the bipartisan spirit that Chairman Bill Schuster has brought back to our Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. He, like many on his committee that he's bringing around, recognize the federal role that's so necessary. We can't devolve transportation back to the states completely. We'll have roads going up the state line and falling off a cliff. That's not how we built our interstate system under Dwight Eisenhower. We need that federal role. And so Chairman Schuster is bringing in all the stakeholders, as he did on the WRDA bill that we just did, which I want to comment on before I shut up. He's bringing in all the stakeholders. He's having numerous hearings. He's reaching across party aisles, both at the member level and the staff level. That's what we did on the WRDA bill. Now, how many have heard of that bill? It passed the Congress right after the government shutdown, Jack. Within a week after we returned the government back to work. Those who say Congress can't get anything done are a bunch of bumbling idiots. It's dysfunction. Well, there is some mediocre of functionality left, because this bill passed the Congress 417-3. 417-3. Just a couple weeks ago. That includes Port of Savannah, a lot of ports along our eastern seaboard. It includes some 26 authorized Corps of Engineer projects, both along our ports and inland navigable waters. It's so important to my home state for moving our coal out of our state to the market. It's so important to this country, and we had our first conference meeting this past week. So that is a sign that there is some functionality left in Washington. So as I sit down, let me again thank each of you for what you do, and say that please help us in this process. As I said at the round table this afternoon, we need to work together. You know what working together is like. You need to work with your members of Congress and with all of your elected officials. Stress to them the importance of infrastructure. Stress to them how we have to bring it to the top of our radar screen, especially in this coming year. When we have so much at stake. We need to authorize a long-term, robust transportation bill that will address our infrastructure needs, that will grow our economy, and most importantly, will do what each of you do every day, provide jobs, and provide more jobs for our people. So again, I thank you for what you do. Keep it up, and keep working with us in the Congress to give us the courage to do what we need to do. Thank you.
Congressman Ray Hall, we want to thank you for being a friend. I had the privilege of working with Congressman Ray Hall almost 25 years ago. And I had some people earlier tonight ask me, why do we have Congressman Ray Hall coming to be our keynote speaker tonight? Do any of you doubt now why we have him here as our keynote speaker? Let's give him a big round of applause. In my opinion, There is no better way to put this country to work, to stimulate our economy in such a way that everyone participates than through a robust national investment in infrastructure. How many of you agree with me? Until this country commits to that, we will not all share in an economic recovery. We will not have the kind of infrastructure that we need to propel this country forward in a global economy. You know, we hear a lot about Congress these days. And we have two congressmen here tonight who are representatives of what is right with Congress. They are two individuals who are on different parts of the aisle, but they are friends and they communicate. And this is what we need at all levels of government throughout this country. Our next congressman is an individual that I've had the pleasure of knowing for a number of years. He is a businessman. He is a father. He and his wife, Libby, have raised a family. They are from Savannah, and he knows what it's like to meet a payroll. And I'm willing to venture that there's probably several of you in this room who may never have seen his face before. But I can assure you that over the course of the next 12 months, you're going to get to know his face quite well. Because, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is Congressman Jack Kingston, who is also a candidate for the United States Senate from Georgia. Congressman Kingston.
Wayne, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate that. And in order for everybody to see my face, I need a lot of contributions to get on Atlanta TV. So just keep that in mind. But I've known Wayne for many years, and you have seen our children grow, and I've just appreciated our friendship and the fact that we can work with each other on a myriad of issues and keep our friendship. Not always agree, but we always work through it. And it's really great to see my friend, Nikki Rahal. Nick was saying that he wanted to speak fast enough to get back to the dessert. He spoke just long enough that I started on it. And Nick, it was delicious. But I want to say this about Congressman Rahal. We both have been in the minority, twice for me, and we've both been in the majority, twice for me, and I think you've got one more on me in the majority. But the reality is we know that in politics, that position is borrowed, and it doesn't belong to us to begin with. And so if you put the issues first, I think things work out. We had the opportunity a couple of years ago to go to the Middle East together on an energy mission to find out why it was so expensive to get the gas over here. And we both agree that we need to be using our own resources a heck of a lot more, including coal from West Virginia that powers houses in the state of Georgia. But Nick, as so many of you are, is actually an immigrant. He's from Lebanon. So we're in there, and we were with Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood, who's also of Lebanese descent, and Daryl Issa, who's also of Lebanese descent. And I think the Capitol Hill Police and the Secret Service and all those folks say you cannot go to Lebanon. And being with 3 Lebanese, they said, we are going to Lebanon. And we went over there, and man, if you ever get the chance to travel with Nick Rahal to Lebanon, do it. You will be treated like a king or a queen, because it was a total homecoming. But we've always had a good and open relationship, and what he's talking about with that worded bill is so vitally important to the state of Georgia, because in 1999, our office was instrumental in putting the language in the bill to begin the process to deepen the Savannah River. Now that project involves 352,000 jobs for the state of Georgia. The cost-benefit analysis is $1 spent and a $5.50 return. But it took us 13 years to get federal government approval and a study of $41 million. And I think Nick and Congressman Schuster and so many of those of us who care about transportation know that that's one of the biggest problems we have. It's not just the expense of building the road, but it's the lawsuits that are brought along with it. For example, how many of y'all have ever seen an Indiana bat? Not a hand. You actually have seen one? Now, how many of y'all have heard of the Indiana bat? Tim Golden and Keith Golden, kind of a problem. An Indiana bat is an endangered species, and one was thought to have flown through Gilmore County, Georgia. Not seen, but perhaps flew through Gilmore County. And as a result of that, was it 101 projects that DOT had were put on immediate hold, and the Department of Transportation had to build bat nets to catch this bat that allegedly had flown through our state. We didn't catch any, did we, Commissioner? How much did it cost you, though? $50,000 per mile. And I think what we have to do, and we can do this in our society, is come up with common sense regulations and rules. A couple of other issues that jump out at me. Lowe's, my good friends from Lowe's in your home office tell me that there's a new regulation on ceiling fans. 206-page regulation on ceiling fans. I didn't know there was a big problem with them, but apparently they're quite dangerous. But what Lowe's has told me is that $35 fan that they sell you will now cost $70 just to comply with this, but it doesn't really change the fan. There's another regulation out there that may require 1 out of 6 dishwashers in America to be replaced. Now, you might have one of them. Got to be careful about that. The one I like the most, though, is the one that says hotels need to be required to have service ponies. Because service dogs, such as C&I dogs, are offensive to some people. And so the good people in Washington have decided that you can take a service horse in a hotel. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd rather follow the guy who was smoking in the bedroom than the guy who had the horse on the carpet. And you know, sometimes you just think, and Nick and I look at this and say, who makes up these rules? And then one thing good about elected office, if you disagree with us or all of our friends in the state legislature around here in the city council, you can throw us out of office. But the people who make so many of these rules aren't even elected. And it really is a drag on industry. So I think we can get together on so many more things, save so much money, and move progress forward if we just come together and say, look, we all want clean air. We all want clean water. We all want a great environment for our children. But we need to have balance. We need to have progress. And we can do that without losing our playgrounds and our natural areas. And that's what I think we're committed to do. And I think there are a lot of good things that go on in Washington. Most of them never make the press. It's always the food fight. But the Word bill, which Nick had mentioned, is so much a part of a lot of good things that go on behind the scenes. And it is my hope that we do get that Word bill passed, because if we can get it done, and it's passed the House, passed the Senate, it's in conference right now, we get that done, then the first thing at bat will be the transportation bill. And I think there's a great need for it. So thank you for letting me be with you, and thank you for everything that you're doing.
All right, I want to thank Commissioner Golden and Congressman Kingston and Congressman Rejo to take the time to be here tonight. Before we continue, I want to remind you all that if you want to buy the raffle tickets, they're at the registration table. Remember, they're only $10 and they go into the educational programs. So please take the time to buy those. But before, to continue with the program, the moment we have been waiting for, the award ceremony. The Georgia Hispanic Construction Association is proud to present the 2013 award recipients. The awards are presented to both individuals and entities based on their efforts to directly or indirectly support the Hispanic construction community. For the award ceremony, I would like the GHCA Chair, Ms. Guiomar Obregon, and Vice Chair, Mr. Wilson Tomala, along with Mr. Wayne Reese, to join me at the podium to present the award.
For our first award tonight, we're giving this to an entity that is very important to the Hispanic Construction Association and what they signify. As Congressman Kingston referred to in his remarks, for a business to be successful, the first thing that it needs is practicality in government. The second thing that it needs is predictability. And the third thing that it needs is fairness. The agency that is being recognized tonight represents all three of those things. For a good, legitimate business, what they need to know is what are the rules. And if you will enforce those rules on us the same way that you enforce them on everyone else, then that creates an opportunity that we know is predictable and is fair, and we can succeed. The Federal Aviation Administration is a part of the U.S. Department of Transportation. The regional office is located here in the Atlanta area and has, throughout the 8 southern states, as well as the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, over 7,000 employees, 1,000 of whom are based in the office in College Park. The Division of Airports Management is the division that we are recognizing tonight, and we have with us Winston Glenford, who heads that department. If you would come up and join us on the stage. We thank you for the professionalism of your department and for what your agency has meant in providing a system of fairness and making sure that the rules are followed so that they can compete in the marketplace. Let's give her a big round of applause.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you, and would like to say that we are so proud to work together to get the job done. The FAA is proud to create and maintain one of the safest, efficient, and environmentally responsible aviation systems in the entire world. In Georgia, we do this through the administration of approximately $200 million in Airport Improvement Program grants for airports of all sizes, which in turn provides an economic impact for airports in Georgia of approximately $62.2 billion. We're so proud to work with our airports as they contract with Hispanic companies in order to get these construction projects done. We'd like to thank you.
Okay, we continue with our celebration. So the award winner in the category of general contractor is J. Dunn Construction Company. Founded in 1924, John Ernest Dunn Sr. began J. Dunn Construction as a small family-owned residential contractor and grew to be one of the largest commercial contractors in the United States. J. Dunn Construction is an employee-owned corporation specializing in construction management, program management, and design-build projects of every size. We have here tonight Cherelle Cortez receiving the award. Cherelle organizes and administers the Regional Minority Contractor Business Development Program.
On behalf of J.E. Dunn Construction, we'd like to thank the Georgia Hispanic Construction Association. We are very thankful and grateful for this award, and Thank you all for being in our MCBD program. Thank you.
Some of you may not be aware, but one of the highest incidents of accidents is the Hispanic community. And as you know, the Hispanic workforce is pretty significant in the construction industry. So it matters to provide an award for someone that stands for safety. The winner for safety advocate is Holder Construction. Please, a round of applause for safety construction, for Holder Construction. And the winner is Mr. Cisnero, Corporate Safety Director. Mr. Cisnero is a Corporate Safety Director of Holder Construction Company, where he leads and manages Holder Corporate safety programs. George, or Jorge, has been the Holder Construction Company for 18 years. In the current position, Mr. Cisneros is responsible for ensuring project compliance and continual improvement in all aspects of corporate construction programs. He is responsible for enhancing the safety culture, including training, professional development, and professional development of Holder Construction Associates. Jorge has worked with the Georgia Hispanic Construction Safety Committee to lead a safety training at the GHCA Construction and Safety Fair in the Southeast. Please welcome Jorge Cisneros.
And I understand we have a VP from Holder, so you can join us at the podium.
Would Dave O'Hara please come up to the podium?
Thank you very much. I specifically want to thank Dave O'Hara, which is next to me. He's my boss, and he actually lets me get involved in organizations to help the community, like this Hispanic Association and others, including the OSHA and just to train the Latino workforce in general, and also local high schools, starting to get these students that are willing to probably at some point come to the construction industry. They start training them so they can have some knowledge in the safety field. So thank you for this award, and I appreciate it very much.
Because this is a celebration of the companies involved in our community. So in the category of non-profit, the winner is Georgia 811. Georgia 811 is a non-profit corporation dedicated to preventing damage to Georgia's underground utilities and promoting public safety. Georgia 811 functions as a communication system connecting member utility companies with professional excavators and homeowners who are planning mechanized digging activities such as excavation, tunneling, grading, boring, and demolition. We have here tonight Megan Estes receiving the award.
Thank you very much for this award. I want to especially thank Louisa and Patricia for helping to bridge the partnership between Georgia 811 and GHCA. And I hope in the coming years to meet very many more of you to provide training for you free of charge to help keep your construction crews safe during any type of excavation. Thank you.
The next award goes to private owner. And personally, I can tell you that it's impossible, literally impossible to grow without the support of the infamous money. And who provides that? No one else but a bank. The award goes to private owner, which is the community bank. And the recipient is Mark Abernathy, and though he could not be here, Gustavo Sierra will be receiving that award on his behalf. Mark Abernathy is a bank veteran with more than 3 decades of experience serving the Metropolitan Private and Community Bank. Mark leads the development of and execution of Community Southern Bank plans and encompassing organic growth strategies, operations, profits, and profit enhancement. Prior to joining CSB in February 2013, he served in multiple capacities in the Mississippi-based Cadence Bank, most recently as Community Bank Executive Officer. During his tenure, he led the bank mergers and recapitalization efforts to which he well-planned acquisitions, built the company from $600 million to $2 billion in assets. Please help me welcome Gustavo Sierra, who will be receiving the award.
Well, I wasn't prepared for this, but I just want to say thank you all and thank you for the association for this award.
Now, the next 2 awards are very special to me because we are recognizing the Hispanic companies, the best and the brightest that we found, and we are here to celebrate their achievements. The Hispanic Construction Business of the Year is Gombi Construction. Gombi Construction was founded and incorporated in 1987. Gombi Construction has grown to become Atlanta's short-lease concrete contractor. Gombi offers high-level commercial concrete construction and finishing with a focus in the government, municipal, and military markets, particularly those that can take advantage of GCC's minority business enterprise status. Receiving the award is Ernesto Valdez.
Well, thank you so much, every one of you, to be here and join us on this night. And thank you so much for this organization to give me this award. I'm proud to be a member. And thanks so much, everyone, and enjoy the night.
Our next Hispanic company we want to recognize came up with a fancy name, is the Hispanic Ingenious Award. If you look up in the dictionary, ingenious means creative, imaginative, original, innovative, resourceful, thinking outside the box. The winner of this award is Advanced Premises System. Gus Cueto is the leading expert in control system and automation technology. He has over 25 years of experience designing and programming automation systems for the manufacturing industry and for large residential homes. In 1999, Gus founded Advanced Premises System, which provides sales and service of home technology such as security, audio, video, and automation. Gus also developed and patented lighting control device designed to provide low-cost, high-reliability lighting controls for small commercial buildings. So receiving this award, we have Gustavo Cueto.
Well, on behalf of Advanced Premises Systems, I would like to thank GHCA and the board for honoring me with this award. It's truly humbling. You know, they say to put together a successful business, you have to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. And I know of no other organization that can expose you to the smartest bunch of people in the business. So I want to thank you and give you a big gracias from Advanced Premises System. Thank you.
So I get the pleasure of presenting the final award. And the final award goes to people who are being rewarded for their vision, their intelligence, their hard work, and their willingness to put themselves on the front line. But to do this award, I need some help. Chuck Hucks from Kiewit, would you please join me on the stage? Congressman Ray Hall, Congressman Kingston, would you please join us as well for this award? We are recognizing tonight the founders of this organization, the Georgia Hispanic Construction Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a big round of applause as they make their way to the stage. Javier Galeano, Thomas Lefkowitz, Guillermo Obergan, Tony Perez, Wilson Kamala, and Jose Villegas. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Yeah, I'd just like to say we at Kiewit have had a great relationship through the years working with Hispanic contractors in the state of Georgia. Most recently completing a real successful project with Precision 2000 out at the Atlanta airport. And I'd just like to congratulate these founding members on their vision of creating a great organization.
You know, I like to say, as the vice chairman, I like to say a couple of words, and you know, by the way, this is not planned, but I think it's critically important that we acknowledge the phenomenal leadership that we have, and that is Ms. Obregon. I will tell you her vision, her hard work, her true dedication, incredible commitment. We talked about how she gets things done, and she holds no punch. It's a challenge, and it's a privilege to work with her. Please join me giving her a round of applause. So truly,
to continue, I want to call our last speaker, but one of the most important because it's our main sponsor along with others who made this night possible. Please help me welcome Brian Aguirre with Lowe's.
Good evening. On behalf of Lowe's, it is a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Brian Aguirre. I'm with Lowe's. I'm the account executive for the Atlanta market. I've been part of the Hispanic Contractor Association now, going on I think 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and just privileged to have the opportunity to be a part of you fine business men and women. With that, I'd like the opportunity to introduce, I'm not sure if you mentioned him earlier, but our Vice President of Store Operations, Norbert Stone. So to show the value and how much we really take pride in being here, we have our VP, so that speaks volume. We are proud to be part of the Georgia Hispanic Contractor Association and support continued education, professional and technical progress, and economic growth through Hispanic-owned construction businesses throughout the state. As you know, Lowe's is supporter of the Hispanic communities and construction-related businesses, and this is nothing new. Lowe's supports the National Hispanic Contractor Association and 10 chapters across the country. Diversity is something we place tremendous value on at Lowe's. And that's why, in addition to the great relationships with NHCA, we are partners of many other organizations that support Hispanic and the Latino community. Throughout every stage of life, Lowe's is here to help you, each and every one of you, never stop improving your home. Home is where families build their dreams and plan their futures. Home is an important part of everybody's heritage. And it's a heritage that the Blue Company, Lowe's, is proud to support. This relationship is important to me, to Lowe's, to Norbert, and will continue to grow and develop over the coming years. We see that engaging Hispanic contracting professionals and the Hispanic community in meaningful ways is a great value to us. And we believe that working together to better develop professionals and communities will benefit us all in the future. We look forward to enjoying this evening with you all. Thank you for allowing Lowe's to be part of this wonderful dinner today. And thank you for your business. And as our motto goes, may this association, may your businesses, may everything you do every day never stop improving. Thank you.
As you can see, our beautiful centerpieces were graciously donated by Yancey Brothers, the Caterpillar dealer. The one guest that has the black napkin is the lucky winner of that centerpiece, so congratulations all of you who got that. Alright, so let the party begin, and we're gonna come back in like around 9:30 to do the raffle. So please buy those tickets and let the party begin.
acerca un caballero, su pelo ya pintaba algunas canas. Le dijo, le suplicó compañero, que no hable en mi presencia de las damas. Le dije que nosotros simplemente hablamos de más que nos pagaron. Y alguien opinaba diferente, querían porque jamás los perdonaron. Y alguien opinaba diferente, querían porque jamás lo traicionaron. Me digo, yo soy uno de los seres que más han soportado los fracasos. Quisiera los felices de mi vida, las he pasado al lado de una más. Pudiéramos morir. Que eres linda y hechicera, que eres linda y hechicera, como el canto de una rosa. Uy. Si por pobre me desprecio, yo te concedo razón. Yo te concedo razón. Si por pobre me desprecias, yo no te ofrezco riqueza, te ofrezco mi corazón, te ofrezco mi corazón a cambio de mi pobreza. Malagueña salerosa, de una rosa.
Gracias, muchas gracias.